Welcome back to the YCN Game of the Week, brought to you by La Valley Building Supply. I'm Mike Pizzone, joined by Jeremy Stout here at Woodstock Union High School. And unfortunately for Windsor, Ashley Wilcox went to the trainer's room late there in the first quarter with an apparent injury, and she's still kind of slumped over on the bench right now, not looking too optimistic.
Yeah, she's on the end of the bench talking to the trainer and looking like she's not completely out of the game yet, but you're right, not looking too great, so we'll see how it goes, get some rest, and she might be able to come back in the second half.
And that's going to send Blankeny to the line for two with an opportunity to cut into Windsor's lead. But yeah, an unfortunate situation already with a short bench as Windsor with two players out to illness. So to lose that starting point guard potentially, again, we're not going to jump to any conclusions. By no means is she out for the remainder of the game, but certainly not an ideal situation for Coach Bruce McKay right now.
And other than that, you really have to be happy with how your team played in the first quarter, extending an early lead, and really playing some good defense as well. So both defensively and offensively, you got to be happy.
As Blankeny gets the rebound after knocking down a pair of free throws. Have you seen our new and improved website, ycnnow.com? Tune in whenever you want on your smartphone or computer for individual news, stories, shows, segments, and our Game of the Week. All from YCN, your local view. As Luce puts up a deep three-pointer, it touched about every little portion of that rim, but does not fall.
And again, nice ball movement around the perimeter, and Luce had an opening. Took a nice three-point attempt. Not able to fall. She has one already on the night.
And a nice pass to Abrahamson again. Unfortunately, a little short, and Luce is going to take it up the court now for Woodstock. But you're right, showing her range on that last three-point attempt, albeit a miss, but man, that was probably from NBA range. Another offensive board by Woodstock. Can't convert, and is that a foul? I guess they're going to call a foul. It looked like she might have got there in time for a jump ball, but...
Another rush shot. I think it was a good offensive rebound, and maybe put up a little too quickly on that side instead of kind of kicking it back out, resetting the offense and seeing what they can do. Tried to go aggressively, weren't able to connect.
As Comstock unable to handle that pass, it's going to sail out of bounds, and Woodstock with an extra possession here. Let's see if they can make the most and make it potentially a two-point game.
No field goals made in the early going here of the second quarter. The only points, the two free throws.
And we're starting to see that patience once again, as that shot was short by Natasha Small.
And I don't know if it's more of they're being patient, which they are, or they're just having trouble creating that offense and not really able to make anybody get open, or if they're just, because it's a good thing to be patient and pass it around the perimeter and look for an open shot, but then when do you become a little too complacent with, hey, we'll just swing it around, and have that. I mean, it's not really a four corners offense or a stall,
yep.
But it is kind of, hey, we got to come up with something.
As that shot does not fall, but you're absolutely right. I mean, there's a certain point where it's patience, but when you're down by, 4 points, 6 points in the early goings, you also got to remember you got to score to win the game. And it was nice to see Wilcox converting that layup, obviously back in the game, looking healthy, so a good sign for Windsor.
Yeah, back in the game, getting a nice rebound, running the floor. Looks like she's back there and pretty near 100% from what we can tell.
Sure. So that's going to send Gray to the line for two. Knocks down the first one.
This is Gray's first trip to the line tonight. She has 4 points so far on the evening.
Offensive rebound by Abrahamson. Gives it to the other Gray, number 35, and a rebound by the other Gray. Wilcox now.
Now they'll give it back to Wilcox and reset, set up this half-court offense.
Travel called.
She do a little jump step and...
Yeah, might have just kind of jumped into that spot. Unfortunate call, but you're going to learn from those kinds of mistakes, and now's the time you want to learn from something like that. Just a reminder to stay tuned near the end of our telecast for the H.R. Clough Kearsarge Heating Oil Turning Up the Heat Player of the Game. And we haven't had too many points on the scoreboard yet at this point, but we still have seen a couple players probably worthy, making a case for themselves anyway.
Ashley Wilcox leads Windsor with 7 points, and Loretta Blakeney with 4 points leads Woodstock.
Yeah, and Wilcox doing that with, significant time on the bench as well, so as that shot's going to fall by Alexis Fitzgerald. So Woodstock doing a good job hanging in there.
Yeah, good look by Fitzgerald, just a little 15-footer. She was open, took the nice shot.
Wilcox hits the floor hard on that. Nice little defensive move, trying to make up for her turnover there.
Yeah, Wilcox really hounding both ball handlers. Now she'll come out and guard loose.
And a nice block by Abrahamson. Gets it quickly to Wilcox. Wilcox quick up the floor to Gray. And Gray's going to draw the foul and head back to the line for 2. So a nice heads-up play. Abrahamson with the block and the wherewithal to not just block the ball, but to come up with the rebound as well. Get it up to the floor to the point guard. And now potential for an easy 2 here.
Trying to extend their lead. She is 1 for 2 from the line.
Unable to get the first.
Not able to convert. And that's, as we've seen before, in the last game that we had, close game down to the wire, and these free throws, even in the second quarter, they're all big.
As we see Maddie Schultz check back into the game for Woodstock. So Windsor once again getting the offensive board. And Gray puts up the 3, back rims it, and that's going to be Schultz coming up with the board for the Wasps.
Seems like we've had kind of a transformation of this game. It started with some good ball movement and some cutting, some inside hoop play. Now kind of just sitting on the perimeter, both teams settling for some shots. Not that they're not open or good shots, but it seems like some of the strategy, as we see here, has changed.
And a nice three-pointer just like that. Natasha Smallwood, senior guard. I believe that's her second three-pointer of the game, so showing some range. Just a reminder, our Game of the Week premieres every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. or on demand anytime at ycnnow.com. Wilcox's 3 in and out. The rebound by Luce. Good trap there by Windsor, but Luce able to get it over to Schultz.
Yeah, Wilcox once again coming up over the timeline and just pulling up to take a 3. Trying to catch the defense off guard. Not able to get it to fall, though.
Luce with it now for the Wops. Creates a little bit of space. Hands it over to the hot hand in Smallwood, although Smallwood a little long on that. And now Windsor will try to respond on the other end. Gets it to Gray. Gray wide open, and she hits the 3. Makes them pay. I mean, when you're that wide open, boy.
Extending the lead to 5 now with their first basket of the game.
Schultz with an opportunity here, guarded by Wilcox. That's a fun matchup to watch. The 2 leading scorers for both teams going head-to-head. Luce with the rebound now, putting up a little bit of a hook. And once again, that shot does not fall. Saw a lot of room, but no net. Wilcox, a nice pass. Abrahamson converts the layup, and that's going to force Coach Justin Smith to take a timeout for Woodstock. So we'll take the timeout too from our YCN Game of the Week. Welcome back to the YCN Game of the Week, brought to you by LaValle Building Supply. We're here at Woodstock Union High School, where it's the visiting Yellow Jackets leading 24-17, although Woodstock hanging in there and making a move now with Schultz and Lucy back on the court, excuse me.
Yeah, a slow start there for Woodstock. Down 6 after the first quarter. Now they're down 7, but they're really hanging there. And they just need to take some, not that they're not taking good shots, but they just need to get some to fall and maybe get inside like you see there to give yourself an opportunity to go to the free throw line. They're taking too many outside shots, settling, I think, a little too much. And here you get a chance to get something in the paint and then go to the line as we saw happen right now.
Yeah, that's a fair point. It's not necessarily that they're getting bad shots, and not to make excuses, but I can't tell you how many of these Woodstock misses we've seen hit every portion of the rim and just not fall.
Yeah, we've seen Mariah Luce take a couple shots. She was wide open, not bad shots at all, but they just didn't fall. So instead, maybe change that strategy, not go away from it completely, but try and go more into the paint and get some easy buckets or get to the free throw line. And even if you don't make your free throws, you're putting them in foul trouble as the clock winds down. There's 2 minutes to go now. Get in the bonus situation. So maybe we'll see if a little bit of a change here in the last 2 minutes.
As Schultz picks off that pass attempt, and another turnover for Windsor. So it's stuff like this. It's these turnovers that are really allowing Woodstock to remain in the game. As Schultz is going to put up a deep three-pointer. Unable to get it to fall, and Wilcox with the pushing it up the court now. Nice little spin move. Puts up the layup, and an easy, all too easy layup. Draws even a smile from Wilcox as she starts to limp a little bit, though.
The Woodstock defense is... I think they don't know what to do when Wilcox comes over because they've seen where they give her space and she shoots a three wide open, or they come up on her and she'll drive around her. So a credit to Ashley Wilcox. She's really making her presence known here on the court, but this Woodstock team has got to figure out a way to stop her.
Yeah, and Wilcox noticeably was limping after that made layup, and I saw Coach McKay kind of call to his bench. He has Gray now set to come in, and I almost am positive that she's going to come in for Wilcox, as I'm sure Coach McKay is a little concerned about the health of his star point guard. And that shot, Alexis Fitzgerald knocks it down. And once again, a 7-point game inside the final minute here in the first half.
Fitzgerald with her second basket of the night. She has 4 points, all in the second quarter. So getting some contributions. They've had 6 players score tonight for Woodstock.
So inside the final 30 seconds of the first half, Wilcox slowing things down. Looks like she's going to be satisfied running out the half here.
Yeah, I think the way you've been going this half, this quarter, really extending your lead from 6 to now 7, been a pretty even quarter. Might as well sit here and take the last shot.
And Wilcox. Nice defensive stance by Schultz, trying to make Wilcox go around, but Wilcox able to adjust and gets the layup to fall. As Schultz puts up the three-pointer off the backboard, and that's no good. So it's halftime here at Woodstock Union High School, but it's the visiting Windsor Yellow Jackets who are going to head into the break with a 28-19 lead. So stay tuned after the break for some halftime stats from our YCN Game of the Week. Welcome back to the YCN Game of the Week, brought to you by La Valley Building Supply. I'm here with Jeremy Stout at Woodstock Union High School, where it's the visiting Windsor Yellow Jackets leading 28-19 at halftime. And Coach Bruce McKay's got to be pleased. He was a little concerned heading into the game with 2 starters out due to illness, but Ashley Wilcox putting up some numbers here for Windsor early on. Yeah,
Wilcox has really stepped up. She had a little bit of an injury scare there, but she came back strong in the second quarter to add to her total. She has 11 points on the evening with 6 in that second quarter. So even after a little bit of an injury, she's looking good right now and hopefully good to go for the second half.
And even on the Woodstock side, only down by 9 points against a team that beat them by 18 earlier in the year. So even if you're Woodstock right now, you got to be pretty pleased with where you are at halftime.
Yeah, with Fitzgerald and Blankeny each with 4 points, some good contributions. But what they need to do is they need to start penetrating, or they need to start making some of their shots. They've had some open shots, so it's not bad shot selection, just not able to fall. But maybe try going inside the paint, draw some fouls, and get to the free throw line.
So it'll be interesting to see how both teams adjust coming out of halftime, and we should be in for a good final 16 minutes from our YCN Game of the Week.